Okay, so welcome to end of market review for the 28th of March, right? Today is Tuesday, 28th March 2023, and now I'm diving into my end of market review. So, what happened today? What happened today? Well, today was a bullish day, right? Price made a lower high, right? A lower swing high here. Price is moving to the upside. We have equal highs here. We have another high here. And on the daily time frame, if I go to the daily real quick, let's just go over to the daily time frame, right? We have these equal highs over here, right? Let me mark that out, right? So we've identified buy stops, right? All I did now is identify buy stops. I didn't say price is going to run here, price is going to move, like no, right? I'm not making any predictions, I'm not making any calls. I'm only identifying buy side liquidity. As you can see, I've also identified sell side liquidity. I also have this 4-hour order block, right? And all of this is coming from what I'm currently learning, which is ICT, right? I'm currently learning ICT, and I'm not saying anybody that watches this video should go and watch, should go and learn ICT. I'm only telling you what I'm doing at the moment. I'm not even saying I've made a penny. I've not made a fucking dollar doing this, like trading this strategy, right? So I'm just enjoying the process and I'm learning, right? I'm learning. This is a journey, right? The aim is not to make money. The aim is to build a process, understand the process, and enjoy the process. So that's it. If the money comes, fine. If the money doesn't come, there's many other ways to make money. So as I was saying, end of market review. So basically, by now, anybody watching this or anybody who has been following up will probably know my strategy, my very, very boring strategy. It's nothing special. Oh my god, I can't believe this. This is nothing special. Like, it's just a very, very boring strategy. So something else I wanted to show. I've been using Notion. I've started using Notion to just like keep a journal of my trades. So Forex journal, daily, XAUUSD, next 20 trades. So far so good. I've taken 5 trades. Out of the 5, I've lost 3, and today I won 1. But you can see where I put here, missed trade. So I actually missed this entry today, which means I didn't take this on the demo account that I have. So on my demo account, I'm still down 1R, which is 0.5%. And the reason I was not able to take this trade was I was not by my charts when this setup occurred. Although I had marked out my charts and everything, but I had to go to work. So I actually put my laptop in my bag, took my laptop to where I was going. So I was in the car at the moment, so I couldn't bring out my laptop, and I didn't want to trade from my phone. Then, where I got to, I actually saw this setup, but like price had already given us our entry. Price did not return to my entry. I was waiting for price to get back to my entry to maybe get in on the position since it hadn't completed the 1 to 2. But price just pushed up and then rolled down. So I actually watched this setup complete, but I didn't get in on the trade, and that's just it. So it's a missed trade, but you know, we still got this setup, right? We still got this setup using all the criteria, right? After 230, created a fair value gap, came back into the fair value gap, 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, simple. So 5 trades, I'll consider that as a trade, even though I missed the trade, right? I didn't take it on my demo, but I'll consider that a trade according to my strategy, according to my model, right? Because if I was by the charts, I would have executed the trade, no doubt, no cap. Sorry about that. But yeah, so currently we're up by 1 hour, right? So we've taken 5 trades, 3 losses, 2 wins. You see, so at the end of the day, when we're taking like 2 loss in a row and all that, we're feeling kind of bad, right? Took the first win, got some momentum, took another loss, feeling kind of now, you know. So I hope anybody that is watching is really getting to understand like what it is. Even me, right? Forget about anybody that's watching because barely anybody watches my shit. But me in particular, I am really starting to understand, at least from a more realistic point of view. It's giving me a more realistic point of view that look, you don't really need to know so much about the market. You can just know one thing as long as you're executing it, as long as you're executing, as long as you're taking those trades over a large sample size. If you have an edge, it can make you money. It can make you money. A lot of the time, like especially when you go on YouTube or social media, any social media platform, these traders will show you like some crazy ass entries, perfect entries, sniper entries, crazy entries, like, and you're wondering like, man, if only I could learn this strategy. If only I could learn this strategy, maybe I'll be so good at trading. But like, I'm just trying to debunk that myth for myself, most especially because I fell into that trap. Traded SM, all the whole smart money concepts, and I was so hell bent on technicals. Like even when I got good at technicals, I still managed to like let my psychology fuck me up. Isn't that crazy? Like even when I got so good at technicals, like my psychology still like when I got good at technicals, I was like, now I have to now there's no excuse for me not to be rich. And I was forcing every trade. Every trade I was taking, I wanted to because I was like, there's no way I'm wrong. Do you understand? It was so hard for me to believe that I could call the market wrongly. And there were still trades where I called the market wrongly because my confidence was so high. I was so overconfident. Confidence is great, right? To execute, but throwing risk management away, that's stupid. Not taking profits when you should take profits, that's stupid. Like I was falling for all those things because I felt like now I'm better. Like my technical skills is so better. So right now I've really, really dumbed down my strategy just to show myself that the technicals don't really matter. I might not trade strategy forever, but I just want to show that I just want to prove to myself that it's possible to be profitable with a strategy that is not so complicated. Not every strategy has to be so complicated. But it's like sweep of this low, BOS of this, BMS, change of 10 pip stop loss, 7 pip stop loss, 1 to 10 R. All those things just sound sexy, but you don't need all of that to be profitable. And this is what I want to actually prove to myself. My strategy is actually a very dumb strategy. It's like price 230. After 230, look for fair value gap. After fair value gap, take your entry when price comes into the fair value gap. Put your stops above the candle that creates the fair value gap. Target a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. Like, what is so hard about it? It's just rules. The strategy just has rules. Trade once a day. Do this, do that, do that. Very systematic. If I can execute the system over a large sample size, I should expect a profitable result. And that's all I'm doing. And trust me, if this strategy, if I actually keep up with this strategy, right, I'm pretty sure, like, I'm not going to say I'm pretty sure, but like, even if this strategy is not perfect, when I move on to, or if I eventually learn a lot of ICT concepts and I get good at calling the market, and I decide, okay, let me change the way I trade, or let me use a different technical approach to the markets, right? I can't still go with the mindset of now I'm invincible. No, I still have to go with the mindset of being humble, respecting the risk, right? Which means I still have to apply strict risk management, scale out or trail stops, whatever the criteria behind that strategy is. It's all about following the system, right? Trading is better off when it's a systematic process, right? When everything is systemized, then I can be like, okay, let me follow the system, right? What are the rules? Have the rules. Give me the rules. Enter by this time, don't enter by this time. Trade by this time, don't trade by this time. This is the entry, this is not the entry. This is the exit, this is where exit, this is where exit. is so much better off when it's systemized. And this is why, like, obviously there's a human element because you can use your intuition and all of that, but you should actually start somewhere. You start somewhere that is easy to start from. And just jumping into the market, like, after 2 3 years or 1 year of trading profitably or 6 months of trading profitably and saying you're using your intuition, that's being dumb. Like, even traders that have been trading for maybe a decade, there are traders that have been trading for over a decade and they still don't rely so much on their intuition, right? They still follow processes. So let me go back to the chart so I can actually, like, just take another look at the entry or something. I think I've already, like, showed everything, but, like, okay. Then let me go down to the 5 minutes, 5 minutes, and then the 3 minutes, and then the 1 minute. So now you right, where's the fair value gap? Again, there's the gap between between the low of this candle, below of this candle here. In case anybody doesn't know what candle I'm talking about, this candle here, this one, right? This one, the low of that candle, and then the high of this candle, right? This gap in between, right here, this is the fair value gap, right? So what I always do is I mark out the high of this candle, and that's where I place my entry. So whenever price comes back, like as you can see here, right? Let me take this. So this is how I place my entry line. Whenever price comes back to the high of this candle, right? Because if price wants to come into this fair value gap, it has to come through here, right? So I don't put my entries in here. I will actually put my entries at this high, right? So that I get triggered in to the trade, right? So I'm waiting for price to get back into this fair value gap, and that will be my entry. So you can see price gets into it, tagged me into the trade. Obviously, this was a missed trade, but I'm just telling you this is exactly how my trade would have been. Okay. Sorry about that. So this is a trade. Okay, and it was right here. This was when I came back onto the chart and I marked out this setup, right? So when I came onto the chart, this was the candle I was seeing. Exactly this candle. This was the candlestick I was seeing. But at the same time, I'd already identified this equal lows here. When I saw this move up, I identified quickly equal lows here, right? And what I was looking for was, okay, price should come back into this entry, and I was ready to take a trade. If price had come into this entry, I would have taken the trade, right? But price didn't return to entry, unfortunately. But it's not unfortunate because I don't care. It's a demo account after all. But at the same time, if this was like in real markets, yes, this would have been a missed trade. It's even as it is right now, it's a missed trade, right? Because I missed out on this trade, right? But I still put it in. I still collected the data because collecting data is important, right? It still shows that my strategy has an edge, right? Even though I wasn't there to take advantage of the move, it still shows that my strategy has an edge, right? So normally, let's say I took this trade and you see trade run so close to take profit, and then it pulls back like this. This is something this is why it's actually good to, like, be involved in these trades, because then your emotions will start going crazy. Your emotions can go crazy, especially when you're in drawdown and then you have this trade and you're like, how many hours was this? This was 1.7. Right, then you're like, damn, imagine I just took this. Now I'm going to get stopped out. Right? And yes, imagine I could have gotten stopped out of this trade. Imagine price just kept running up, stop me out of this trade, right? What kind of emotions will I go through? What kind of emotions will I actually process at that time? Like, what will my thoughts be telling me? I could start feeling very down at that point. Like I start feeling like, man, I could have taken that trade, I could have taken off the profit, and it can make you want to start making changes to your strategy. I've experienced this, so I really understand it. Like when you experience something like this, you can actually say, man, maybe I'll just start taking the profits when I feel like so that price won't stop me out. I've had thoughts like that, and sometimes I'm just listening to my mind. I listen to my mind, and I'm just like, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Is this how I've like I just listen to my mind and I'm like, wow, so this is actually how did I fall for all of these things, right? Like because in the past, like when my mind would be telling me I'll make the change to my strategy and I won't want to stick to my strategy, right? I'll be like, okay, let me try it. But like even when I started trading this strategy, right? And so far forward testing, I've been having those thoughts like take off this profits or maybe I should I recently like a thought recently crossed my mind and I was like, maybe I should reduce my risk to reward to one so that my strike rate will go up. Or there's another one I thought of. I said, okay, my trades usually like run in profit before I get stopped out. So let me always like whenever I runs in profit, I'll take profit. Whenever I runs in profit, I'll take profit and I'll not let it run to 1.2R to the complete 2R, right? So these thoughts crossed my mind and I'm like wow. It's crazy. Like our minds can, like emotions and the psychology is just like that's what actually fucks us up. Because I've done the back testing, and the back testing shows you have an edge. Now I'm forward testing, and the emotions and everything and the results is making me like want to make changes. Because like I'm not seeing 10%. If I was up like let's say I had 5 wins in a row, would my mind be considering that? My mind could actually be considering, okay, why not you make it 1 to 3 hour so that you can make more money? And we really need to listen to our mind and know how fucked up our thoughts can really get, right? Because it actually takes me a moment to be like, you know what? Complete the 20 trades. Complete the 20 trades first before you start trying to make changes, right? I've really thought of many changes that I could have made to this strategy to try to make it better. I've thought of many strategies, many things I could add, many like little things. I've even thought of changing the strategy entirely because like heck, I'm learning ICT, right? And God knows the number of strategies that you can teach. But something I always try to hold on to is he has also mentioned you can pick one thing out of everything I'm teaching you and you can just be profitable with just that. So sometimes our mind wants to throw away something we've heard and pick up something new. But like I always try to remind myself, it's not about being profitable. It's not about being right or wrong. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about the process. The process. The goal is in the action. The action that will give you the outcome is taking 20 trades. Taking 20 trades. At the end of like after taking those 20 trades, I should be profitable. That's what the backtesting has shown. And I backtested the exact same strategy that I'm trading right now. No additions, no subtractions. When I was backtesting, I even got carefree. Where it's like, okay, I'm like, okay, just enter, just take the trade. Let's just get done with this 20. Because I was actually getting tired. I was like, let's just complete this 20 trade so I can actually go and drink some water or have something to eat. But now we're actually having to trade day by day, day by day, day by day. The thoughts are now coming in my mind. And as I said, you really need to take it slowly, one step at a time. So once I'm done forward testing and demo testing, maybe I'll fund like a live account of just a little money, maybe $100, put it on the lowest risk, and then again take 20 trades just to get those emotions out of the way, right? Just to get those emotions out of the way. At the end of the day, I watch the trade run to TP, right? But at the end of the day, like this trade could have hit stop loss, and I really wish I was in this trade so I could actually feel those emotions and those doubts and all of those things creeping and all those thoughts, all those negative thoughts coming in my head, because I know that a lot of people experience that. But I'm just going to end it here.